I work for Hays, and I'm responsible for all the digital and innovation functions at Hays. And we are developing and building almost 50 to 25 field products at a time. What we realized is that the biggest hurdle in us being able to communicate to stakeholders or to the teams or to anybody was the roadmap of the product. And it was quite challenging. People said only some very smart people can actually build a roadmap. Well, we said no, that's not true. If we build a process which people can follow and make creating the product roadmap simple enough, then actually you have effectively democratized the art of creating a roadmap. What you'll see today, that's what it is. Yeah? We call it leap, taking a leap. From something very complex, make it absolutely simple. What we're going to do is, it's a 7-step simple process. Everything is a step. Features, themes, MVP, destination, mile markers, math, and then iterate. Objective is very simple. I want to be able to create my product roadmap using a simple method. What we're going to do is we're going to take an example today. Simple example of a news website. Yeah, we're going to talk about it during the course of this particular talk. There are few themes here you can see. Advertisement, latest news, breaking news, search news, subscribe. Yeah, and we'll see how we can create a product roadmap for this simple product. Okay, that's how we'll go for the method. Features. Now, it's very, very simple. Ensure that we have a full comprehensive list of all the features with us. That's quite important. Now, in the last MVP talk, we talked about the full bold vision. Right? Here you are not talking about MVP, you're talking about the product which you want to build. So have a comprehensive list of initial product features. Qualify the feature list by validating against the definition of the product. Each of the feature must align to the definition or the vision of your product. Right? It's a different topic how to define the product. But once you define the product, you have a vision, it must align to it. Prioritize the feature list. Using a feature prioritization process, again, that's sort of different topic. But within that, in summary, what it is, it gives you an axis between value and effort. For every single feature, what's the magnitude of effort, what's the magnitude of value. Any feature which gives low value and high effort, we call it parking lot. A lot of effort to build a feature, but very low value for the user, no point doing it. So ignore anything which is there in the parking lot, which is high effort and low value. Okay? Then create user stories for as many features as you can. But don't overdo it. Work at a level of detail. Yes, that is relevant to the information which is available. Remember, it could be the beginning of the product. You might not have all the information. There's no point boiling the ocean at this stage. As long as you got a concept clear, as you got a comprehensive initial list of features and follow this process, right? Then create user stories for as many as you can. We will see why later on. Okay. Now, themes. Now, define the themes for. There are 3-4 new concepts here. Remember, themes are organized against solving a user problem. Okay. Features are organized against fulfilling a user need. Interactions within the features are organized against removing user struggles in order to use the features. Right? So if you just keep the simple definition in mind, and then we'll work on that. You see about primary user, secondary user, tertiary user. What we believe is that each product would have one primary user type. The person who is the main consumer of your product. Secondary user is the user who makes it happen for the primary user. For example, if you are consuming a news website, unless somebody curates the news into the website, I can't consume the news. The person who curates and does the content management of the news within your news app is actually the secondary user. While the primary user is the person who is reading through the news and enjoying the content. There is a concept of your tertiary user here. Tertiary user is the user who consumes the byproduct of the primary user. Very simple, we generally forget. Now remember, most of the free apps are funded by giving you the advertisements. The companies or the people or the users who are able to put advertisements onto the websites in the right way for the users of that website to consume, they are actually tertiary users. You don't see them, they are the consumer of the byproduct. when you interact with a particular app, you leave your trail, you leave the data of your users, your interest, your behavior. Then there is a user who is consuming that data to then give you the right type of addressing. That's a turtle user. You probably won't find the concept anywhere else. This is quite important. So themes, identify the theme for the primary user. There has to be one main theme, plus I think for a medium-sized product, about 3 to 4 additional themes. If you go more than that, then your product is probably not focused on doing one thing successfully. It's got too many things in it. Okay? Identify the themes for the secondary users. Could be just one theme. We'll see later on. For such as in case of the news website example, people who are curating the news content. That's it. Identify the themes for the tertiary user features. It could be just one theme again, placing the advertisement on the news website. Right? So from the initial list of features we talked about, group them into the themes. What problem all those features solve? That's your theme area. Now this is something important. Add 3 extra themes. We forget it. Now read it carefully if you. Measures, implementation, customer success. All the other themes were focused on the features and the user consuming of your app, but these are the 3 themes which will make it happen and make your entire product successful. Measures means how are you going to measure the success of a feature? How are you going to measure the user behavior, whether a feature worked or not? Instrumentation is a dashboard at the back end which tells you whether your app is behaving perfectly or not, response times are fine or not, is it stretching or not. And the customer success, people forget, it has to be built as a theme. If your customer, you might have the topmost app or your product in the world, but if you haven't put in the enough customer success features into the product, and if your customers have an issue, how do you help them out? The objective of customer success is to make your customer successful. That's the third. So add those 3 things.
So, how do you calculate the customer success? Is that you calculate through the NPS or all this stuff?
That's different.
Yeah.
It's the fact customer success could be simple. Okay, I at least have a help me tab in there. About a problem, there is an email ID on which I can send a query. It could be as simple as that. It could be a chat. Yeah, if you got a problem, chat to me. It may not be a problem. It could be how do I question? How do I use this app, for example, right? So making sure that we have a focused theme on those areas to make sure that our customers or users who are going to use the product enjoy using it and they are successful in using it. It used to be called support before, but support is very, very reactive. Customer success is doing something in a proactive way to make your customer successful. That's the difference. That's why customer success. Okay. So step 1 was features. Get a list of all those features. Yeah. Step 2, organize them into the themes, i.e. problems area. Then validate your theme with the product definition feature. Now remember, product definition we can discuss it. This is a separate topic. But if any feature or theme doesn't align with the vision of the product or your product definition, there isn't any point in building it. Right? So this validation is very important. Now MVP. Once you've got all of that, work out what your MVP is. Now what's the MVP? It's simple. It's a product with just enough features where initial users are happy to use it, they get value from it from day one, and they are happy to provide you the feedback. That's what MVP. Now, remember you had the big bold vision at the beginning, you had a comprehensive list of all the features, you then worked out all the themes, you added the 3 extra themes on top of that. Now you're changing the gear saying, what's my MVP? Right? And then identify MVP for all core features. Let's call it minimum viable feature. Saying MVP for feature, minimum viable product for feature doesn't make sense. So I've got another slide. The concept here is minimum viable feature. If a feature is that I should be able to read the news on a website, what are the minimum viable interaction I must have within that for me to be able to start using your website, that feature. That's minimum. Then identify MVP for all your themes. It's quite possible that you have a theme, you've got a big design in case of user subscription as a theme. Yeah, the minimum of that could be that I should be able to give you my email ID and subscribe to the newsfeed. That's the minimum. Right? The large vision could be that, you know what, you are giving me curated feed, you have worked out what my interests are, you believe that I am more interested in actually cricket than in football, my news feeds gives me information on cricket. Right? That could be the feature vision. Right? So what's the MVP for that theme? Yeah. Now then, consider separate MVP for each type of user. This is also important. Now, when you launch a product, let's say that we want to launch this new website product, it is quite possible that at the MVP stage of that product, we don't want to give any advertisements. We have got enough funding to give a free service. Okay? So I don't need to even have the advertisement fee for my tertiary user within my MVP. It could have a separate MVP because I've got a specific user type, or user based for that. Okay? Define the scope of overall MVP and validation. Validation with product definition at every stage, extremely important. Yeah. So I'm going a little bit fast, tell me. The last one is important, this one, destination. What is it? Now consider that you are climbing a mountain. You know when people say, I want to climb, and you give me an example, Kilimanjaro. They haven't seen Kilimanjaro. Yes? That's the aim. This is my intent. I want to reach there. I have got this view of this product in my mind, which is going to change how people use and consume the news. That's my vision. That's the destination. Remember, you worked out your MVP now, first minimum. You're now going to work out what's my limit. I'm going to reach there. That's the destination. Identify the golden release. Let's call it a golden release. The final release of my product. It is my destination or the summit, which will fully satisfy all the user needs which are worked out today. Right? It will automatically give you, it will work out what you like, when you like it, where you like it, it will give it to you. That's my point. That's your destination. Okay, so you worked out MVP, worked out the destination. Now identify golden release for all core features. Quite possible that remember for each of the feature and each of the theme. Right? You could have a golden release. For example, theme called subscribe to my newsfeed. Right? You could have golden release. Your golden release could be that all you need to do is give me your email ID and I'll work out what you like, what you don't like, and you will have the feed. I won't even send you the email. As soon as you get on my email, my app, you will have the feed ready for you with the most relevant content which you're looking for. That could be the golden release. So identify golden release in your mind conceptually. You don't need to write it down. Work it through. Now, consider separate golden release definition for each type of user. Remember, primary user, secondary user, tertiary user. Your main focus is on the primary consumer. If your consumer isn't really happy, there is no way, and it doesn't matter what the secondary user would curate, the consumer isn't going to consume it. Right? So you could actually work out the golden release definition for each type of user. Very easy. Primary user, secondary user, tertiary user. This is important. As I said, here is Kilimanjaro, I want to climb there. I haven't seen it, I've only seen it in picture. It's a statement of intent. And later on you'll see, the reason it's not fixed is a statement because you will change it. Your product will evolve. When your product evolves, your roadmap will evolve and your statement of intent will change. Today you want to climb Kilimanjaro, tomorrow you might want to climb Mount Everest. Who knows? Today my statement of intent is this. That's the golden release. Now then, mile markers. So remember, you've got your MVP, your starting position. You got your destination. What are the mile markers? You are actually going on a journey. This is a roadmap. You're building a roadmap. Identify the major releases of the product roadmap. This is the path to your summit. How am I going to go from MVP to my destination? What do I do with it? Start with two foundations. You see, we can't deliver MVP unless we mobilize and unless we create a framework. Yes? So even though these two will come before MVP. So first is mobilization, foundation. Second foundation is framework. These are the important preparatory mile markers. Before you can even drive to the bottom of the Kilimanjaro, you have to do certain things. You have to sort out the logistics, you have to sort out the porters, you have to buy the stuff, all of that. Framework, getting ready for it. Now, followed by MVP release, right? So you got your mobilization and framework, mile marker. Then you have MVP release, which is a usable and measurable first product release. To enable future. Remember, the objective here is to enable future iterations. That's the objective. Right? And then what you do? You work out two base camps. Remember, you are actually going to climb Kilimanjaro. Here is your MVP. I'm going to get first base camp, then I'm going to go to the second base camp, then I'm going to climb the summit. Very simple, right? So 2 base camps, bronze release and silver release. Intermediate. Major events in the evolution of the product. Right? And you can communicate it. You can say, this is my intent. But before we reach there, we're going to give you this, then we're going to give you this. These are not your regular releases, these are major milestones in the evolution of the product. Followed by quarter release. Country trade evolve product even after the quarter release. So, let's recap at this stage before we go to the back. Okay? We worked out the features. We worked out a comprehensive list of features in our product. We validated them. Agreed. We did as much definition as possible. We now have a list of all those features, but we didn't go overboard with it, because if you go overboard with it, you will spend months trying to define the user stories for each of these. Very high level. Did that? Then we consolidated and grouped those features into the problem areas. What problem area the features are trying to solve. So in case of the news website example, the problem areas are latest news. My user wants to read the latest news. They want to get the breaking news as soon as it happens. Yeah. They want to at least subscribe to the news feed. Okay. The advertisers want to put the adverts onto your website, and the curators of the news want to curate the news. Right? Those are the 3-4 problem areas. Then you have features within that. Yeah. From that, we then worked out on MVP. What's my minimum viable product, which will give the value to user on day one? The initial users will be happy to use it, will be happy to provide feedback, and might even become the advocates for my product. So I can iterate on it. Right? Then you worked out what your destination is, your big bold vision. Where do you want to take the product to? That's your big bold vision. You say, this is where I'm going to take the product to. Then you worked out the intermediate milestones, mile markers. Not calling it milestones because milestones can get confused with a project plan. Mile markers. First is mile marker is mobilization. You can't do anything until you mobilize. Team, technology, people, finance, resources. The second mile marker is create the foundation, which is the framework. Okay. The third mile marker is MVP. The fourth mile marker is the bronze release, which iterates on top of MVP. The fifth mile marker is silver release, which is just before the golden release. I'm just now ready to give the golden release, and then you go to release, right? So let's see how we can map it. Plot your themes and releases to show how product features will evolve over time. Remember, the reason we did that exercise to understand the features, to group them into the themes, to then work out what the user stories are, so that we understand it's not about the product, how the features are going to evolve. You're not actually building the roadmap of the product, you're building the roadmap of your features as well as your themes, and the product roadmap will come. So let's see. Themes, right? So taking the news example, I'll let you read it. Too much content here. This is the example. So we worked out, yeah? Themes are latest news, breaking news, one theme, from area, search news, yeah, news subscription, content management, advertisements, and then 3 important foundation themes: measurement, instrumentation, and then customer success. Okay? First milestone on your roadmaps, mobilization. It took us quite a lot of time to make it so comprehensive. As everything has been tested, we really need all of it, or most of it. In mobilization, you are creating the product definition, you are creating the initial feature list, you are identifying product themes, which you did at a very high level anyway, but let's go through detail. Define the MVP scope, initial feature prioritization, team mobilization, product concept design, so you could communicate to people. Yeah, in terms of concept, it might be a simple prototype as well. UX, user experience concept design, infrastructure design, solution design, multi-tenancy design. Multi-tenancy is quite possible that you are aiming a product for corporates. Each corporate would want to have their own logical area in the product, right? If that's the need, then we need to do the framework, design the framework. If we didn't do the framework, we started building on it, you will not be able to iterate. It won't be iteration, it will be rework. Rework is costly, iteration is value added. Big difference between the two. Okay? Now, multi-tenancy product framework design, DevOps setup, then definition of the releases we talked about, and the success measure design. That's actually about at least 1 month work, 1 to 2 months. So, second one is framework. For everything we talked about, let's build a framework. So that there is a logical, reusable list of a set of components which are ready, which can then be improved and then iterated later on. Framework for latest news, including breaking news. Framework search, find and report. Remember, the theme was search news, but because we understood the big bold vision, this is not search, it's search, find and your recommended for us, right? That's the framework, subscription, etc. etc. Okay. Then your MVP, just enough features for early adopters to try. And we are saying, you know what? Our users will be really happy for this to use this new site. It will give them initial value. If we could just give them top 5 latest news with thumbnail picture plus popular news, they're happy. It gives them value because we did the user research. Yeah, we did the market research. They will be happy to use it. In terms of search, we will give them a simple search. In terms of new subscription, remember the theme isn't even starting in case of MVP. That's what we talked about. That theme might have its own roadmap. We are not considering, it is not necessary for us to give subscription in case of for a minimum viable product. All we want users to get the good quality news at the right time and they enjoy getting the news. We can introduce subscription later on. Okay? But in terms of content management, this is your secondary user. It's important for good quality news content management information architecture to be in place, otherwise there won't be any news for my users to read. Okay? Advertisement. We decided we got enough funding for MVP. We don't want to bother our users with advertisement. So we're not even going to start with that thing. This is stage. That's my MVP. MVP of measure and feature, the 3 important. How we will measure it. So to answer your question, every of those foundation things will be turned into features. Yeah, measurement features, instrumentation features, and then customer success features. For example, in MVP we are saying, we'll give them FAQs, frequently asked question. We'll give them information about our product and benefits and how to use it, etc., etc., and we'll give them access to support to help them use the product. Okay. So 3 mile markers here. Then after that, we go to bronze release. You've done the MVP. Let's go to bronze release, which is improve and iterate on MVP. Now here we have shifted the gear a little bit. Now we are saying latest news presented on every page. It doesn't matter which page I am in my app or my product. I always get a latest news ticker here. While MVP was only on the main page. Right? So we have improved upon, we have iterated on the feature. Yes, because we wanted to get the user feedback. We were earlier giving them just like a line item and a list of latest news. People said, no, that doesn't work for me. I want a ticker there. Yes, so that improvement has been done. Plus, we can give that ticker on every single page. That also removes the limit of maximum 5. Plus, you are iterating upon the features based on the user feedback. Search news. We then, what we said, we'll give you search, but we'll give you location based now. So it's quite possible you're more interested in the news for London and for England and for UK rather than anywhere else. And you could choose, we could work it out, so improve it. It's an example, it's a bronze release example, right? News subscription, we are now starting to give you facilities so you can subscribe to the newsletter, right? Content management, we gave you the basic content management, now we will give you advanced templates. Now, where you can have multiple images, you could have pop-up screen, you can have other features in the news templates, right? Improvement. Advertising. Now we're starting the advertisement theme here. Minimal ad placements. Not very intrusive, very, very simple, right? Just to give the minimum features to the advertisement users, which is tertiary users, so they can start using the product and get value from it. And measurement, we then iterate on that. That's bronze release. Let's go to the silver release. Now remember, silver release says all user needs being met and measured. This is important. It's not golden release. Golden release is wow. It's just met. Met doesn't. Golden release is exceeding the expectation. That's why silver release is better. Because I think your golden release milestone will change. If your product did really well, you will exceed your own expectation. You will exceed your users' expectation and you will continue to shift up. Well, no, Kilimanjaro is too small for me. I'll go to the Everest. Yes? So focus on the silver release. And so let's see how it evolved. Remember, your roadmap is actually for latest news now. Latest news evolved. I'm now going to give you latest news and breaking news, presented inline as an inline item. I've now included breaking news. You will just pop up straight away. Something happens, yeah, it won't get lost in the pickup and will come out. Breaking, so you don't lose it. Right? That's important. Improve several release. And then on search, I said I give you theme-based news search. It's not a general search. Right? Okay, pick up a theme, whatever is Brexit, for example, that's the old theme now, but pick up anything, I'll give you theme-based. So improvement is Bow is creating another next version of iteration. Right? News subscription, set up news alerts, subscribe to news themes. Again, theme-based news alert here. Content management, I'll now introduce the video news templates. Next iteration, right? That's my silver way. Integrated with established affiliate advertisements, I'm now going to do next step. I'm going to integrate my app with an affiliate network so that multiple varieties of ads can come in for multiple types of users, right? And multiple offers, lightning deals could come in, and all those kind of things could happen. Next step. So what are you doing? You're iterating against every theme. You're building on top of features. You're measuring the success of the feature already in. You're improving upon that. This is roadmap, statement of intent. It's quite possible I might not do that. Because my users may tell you, don't really need the theme-based feature. You see what I'm saying? Yeah? That's a statement of intent. So, and then let's go to the golden release. Product definition delivered, that's just something. The reality is, you will change the product definition. You will pivot, we'll discuss in the next one. Now look at this one, this is really big board vision. Yeah? Only 100 latest news presented. User configuration enabled. You will decide what type of latest news you want. You will decide what type of breaking news you want, or we can work it out for you based on your browsing interest. That's the golden release. Right? Personalized news feed. If you give us the right permission, we will capture the right behavior, right? And we will actually present you, rather than you subscribing to the newsletter, we will present you the news feed. It will be right there on your smartphone. Right? It is straight on. Search news in the same way, news subscription, content management, visitor generated content. You see, now we have actually opened our website to other visitors to create the news item, to curate the news item, to report breaking news straight away. Right? That's the next generation. And there, yeah. And then advertisement summit, I will create my own affiliate network. Because by that time, my product would be so much in demand, I can afford to create my own affiliate network. That's the intent there, statement of intent, and then you go final feature definitions. Does it make sense? Have I been too fast?
No, it's fun.
Yeah? So it's not rocket science, anybody can do it. Okay? Now how beautiful it looks? Look at this. That's your product roadmap. Yeah? Standard. Anybody can do it. Standard template. This is what I say, if you go more than 6-7 themes, you are in trouble. Because your product is confused. If you have more than 6-7 themes, you are solving 6-7 problems in this single product. Your user will get confused. Right? So focus only on the core themes. That's your product roadmap. And the beauty of that is it gives you this. When you communicate to your stakeholders, your investors, your bosses, you are talking about near term, medium term, and long term. Today, if you are starting your journey today, your near term is mobilize, framework, MVP. Your medium term is bronze, silver, long term is gold. But it's quite possible that tomorrow, once you've done your MVP, your near term becomes bronze and silver, or bronze. Your medium term becomes silver, your long term becomes gold. Yeah? If you can't read it, don't worry, I think we'll have the slides up there. There's a lot of information there. It's just an example. And the beauty is that it's not difficult. You can apply the same technique to any product. Yeah? Now then, Iterate, sorry.
You had some empty circles on the near term. What do they represent, the empty circles?
Oh, this is just a graphic art. I picked it up from standard PowerPoint. One, the empty circle is just a just a beautifying thing there. That's all it is. So I'm sorry, it's confusion. This is a good question.
I thought that was something extra.
I know nobody asked that question before.
Fill up with your imagination.
I know. I've done it a few times and nobody asked that question. It's a good question.
I think it's just setting up the boundary between the near term, mid term, and
It's a conceptual. Remember, when your product roadmap has got a number of purposes, your team needs to know where you're going. A team follows a leader who has a big bold vision. You say to the team, look, we're going to conquer the Everest. We're going to go to Kilimanjaro. It will be hard work. They'll follow you. They need that destination. And they'll say, how are you going to do it? Well, this is how you're going to do it. Right? It will change. So it needs to for team. For your bosses, for your stakeholders, right? All they need to know is what you're going to do in the next 3 months. Well, it's very clear this is what we're going to do in the next 3 months. Right? Your investors want to know what you're doing now, what will be ready in 3 months, and what's the end game. One single instrument, you can communicate to everybody. Okay? Now, this is important. We never forget this. Products evolve over a period of time, so does the product roadmap. Your product roadmap will change. Okay? The preferred approach is to release small, minimum viable features, measure usefulness of released features to users, iterate, improve, or discard. Never forget that. It doesn't matter. Your product roadmap will become outdated very soon. If you become successful, you will change your summit from Kilimanjaro to Mount Everest. If your product wasn't successful, you will say, you know what, rather than Kilimanjaro, let me just climb something in Wales. What's the name? Snowdonia. Yeah, that's probably easier for me. So it will change. Now, this is important. Be ready to pivot. I've actually written an article on this as well. Pivoting is important. Pivoting is that you thought that I'm going to build what's best news app. People will really love it. They will get the news when they want it, how they want it, and where they want it. You know what? You then realize from the data, you've done a really good job, correct? But they are not really interested in it because they got all their news from Facebook. Whatever type of news they get, but they got all that there. There isn't any need. But there is something else in it. The data is telling me, right, that what they want is discussion on the news. Or they are, I don't know what, it will tell you something else. So be ready to pivot. Pivot is create the foundation, put your foot here, right, rather than going directly go in this, but don't leave the foot. Yeah, think of the rock climbing. You put your foot there and then swing. This is pivot. So when the data tells you that your direction is wrong, your roadmap isn't really right, be ready to change course. That's it. Now, a lot of examples, you need to read my article, I can't remember them. Twitter pivoted, it was something else before. Yeah, YouTube was something else before. Hays, would you believe it, was delivery company. You know the DX delivery company with the legal profession uses. That was Hays. It was owned by Hays. Hays was that. Hays was nowhere, never a recruitment company. It pivoted. You see a lot of examples. Pivoting is important. It's hard. As a founder or as a product owner, it's hard for you to accept that my direction is wrong. But if you have got the right courage and you pivot at the right time, you will be more successful than if you continue to go in the wrong direction. It's hard. Okay, but if you go on the LinkedIn, read the article, you see a lot of examples, known examples. Okay, now then, be ready to consider new themes, manage or discard. You see, the themes which you worked out initially, that was you sitting in a room, but now you got MVP out. Your users are using the product. They are telling you, well, this is the need I've got. This is the struggle I've got. This is the problem I want to be solved. It's quite possible your existing themes are no longer valid, but there's a new theme. There's a new problem area. Remember, theme equal to problem area, problem to be solved. It's a new problem which user is facing. Okay? Yeah? So be ready to introduce new themes during your journey and discard the old themes. But follow the same process. Yeah? You need to evolve the features, you need to evolve the themes. And then validate, iterate through, adjust your product roadmap regularly. How regularly? Depends what your product is. Yeah, don't overdo it. Don't do it every day. For example, but once a month, once in 2 months, 3 months, important. How we are doing with the time?